newsroom. Not sure if it was because of the quake or not. I didn't hear too much of what you said, but I can tell you that the quake, as you probably mentioned, was felt in Philadelphia, New York, and up in Martha's Vineyard, where President Obama is vacationing. So we're going to keep you posted on that. We'll probably go back to the network as soon as we can to get their latest information. But that's it right now. This has been quite an event. I'm getting handed information right now as we speak, and I'll read it. Thank you, Monica, and I'll read it to you verbatim. Buildings in New York City shook briefly. This is from the New York AP. Buildings in New York City shook briefly today as an earthquake originating in Virginia rattled the ground. Many of you, I'm sure, felt it. Government buildings in the city, including City Hall, were evacuated. The 26-story federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan began swaying, and hundreds of people were seen leaving the building. Court officers weren't letting people back in at all. So that's where we stand. 5.8, according to the Geological Survey Society, U.S. Geological Survey, 5.8 on the scale. So reports continue to come into the Eyewitness newsroom, and as you can tell behind me, if you can see, our newsroom is hustling and bustling to see exactly what happened, if there are going to be any aftershocks. Many people are using the phone. Some people can't get through because of the situation that has occurred from south of Virginia in North Carolina all the way up to the Boston area and Martha's Vineyard, once again, where President Obama is serving his vacation, having his vacation. So that's the latest we have right now. I was over at my desk when it happened, and everyone once again immediately jumped up to say, what was that? A common occurrence that usually happens out on the West Coast and other parts of the nation. Not too much here on the West Coast. 5.8 is very, very high for this area. We usually, in the past, I've done reports on maybe a 1.5 or 2.7, which is barely felt, but 5.8, a lot of people felt this. There's no doubt about that. So that is the very latest right now. As you look at a live picture at downtown, I'm not sure, are we looking at Manhattan? It looks like Manhattan, which I can judge by the cast. A lot of people in a state of flux right now in New York City. Once again, some buildings were swaying in that area. I'm not sure about the buildings here in Philadelphia, Center City, Philadelphia. We haven't gotten reports of that, but calls are coming in, and how many buildings have been evacuated in our area. We're still trying to get reports of that right now, if any at all. But please be safe. If you can, call your relatives up and down the East Coast, make sure they are okay. We do not, once again, we do not have reports of any injuries whatsoever so far, but hopefully that will stay that way. But this just happened, I'm going to say, probably about 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago. So we're going to keep you posted on this, and we'll come back off and on throughout the day. Once again, the magnitude 5.8, and the epicenter roughly 9 miles south of Mineral, Virginia. In southern Virginia, the earthquake is felt D.C., Philly, New York City, Martha's Vineyard, as far south as North Carolina. 2:11 in the afternoon, 80 degrees here in Center City, but a lot of temperatures are boiling right now, trying to figure out what exactly happened. Okay, I'm getting more information. Please bear with me as we continue with our coverage. We've got a report from Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Someone there called us and emailed and just said they felt the earthquake and their entire house shook. The entire house shook. That is from Ed. We've got a few more coming up. Once again, my producer called and said, well, my producer's wife called and said that their car, their family car, was shaking back and forth in the driveway. And Rich, this is from Christine Rainey. She says her whole house shook. Another one from Dan. Shook the walls in his home in